Let's go. You lead the way. Where are we headed? Towards a net zero future, of course. Cleaner water, more electricity, a sustainable society. That's the destination we've set ourselves. This we know. Yes, we know exactly where we're going, but we need to get there quicker. So, let's build on the progress we've already made by working and walking together. With the right partners, tools and ideas, we'll become an unstoppable force. This we know. Right now, there are businesses who are putting technology and sustainability at the heart of everything they do. Brave leaders turning maybes into realities and building something better for everyone. Now is the time to look to the future and reinvent ourselves today, empowering others to do the same tomorrow. Yes, we know what the future holds, and we know how to get there. So, let's take charge of the journey today.
Welcome to our school board meeting.
Namaskar.
Hello.
Hi.
Spiffio, access in any language.
Hello, my name is Steve Schultz. I'm going to be the moderator for this presentation today. I'd like to welcome everybody to Growing Student Leaders Through Environmental Education, Our Best Practices. First of all, I'd like to welcome the delegates from the World Education Week World's Best School Prize by T4 Education. Hashtag World Ed Week. Second of all, I'd like to welcome the delegates from the 10 Peaks Innovation Exchange here in Lacombe. Hashtag Change the Conversation. Next slide. Thank you. This is our agenda for the day. First, I'm going to give an Indigenous acknowledgement. Then I will go over our mission statement that we use in our school's Ecovision Club. Then my students, or my past students, will highlight our 5 best practices. Then we're going to take some questions from our T4 audience. We acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory, and we recognize all the many First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and non-First Nations whose footsteps have walked these lands. As long as the sun shines, the river flows, and the grass grows, we are all treaty people. Ecovision is an environmental club of Lacombe Composite High School. We grow student leaders through projects that focus on, number 1, improving the environment. Number 2, enhancing students' education. And number 3, collaborating with the community. As we tell our story, you will understand how those are integrated into everything we do at our high school. Our first best practice that I'm going to share with you, or one of my students is actually going to share with you, is using Indigenous knowledge in all our projects. Xylan, who's going to come up now, is a two-spirited First Nations youth. They have been involved with Ecovision since October 2021. Their projects include the EPICC Garden and harvesting herbs for the micro business. Can we give a warm welcome to Xylan Peltier?
Projects use Indigenous knowledge by 1, researching Indigenous values and perspectives, 2, building relationships in Indigenous community, 3, learning from the Indigenous peoples, relationship with the land so we can increase ecological sustainability as the land is the foundation of all Indigenous ways of knowing and practices. Incorporating Indigenous values into school spaces so we can make education relevant to Indigenous students and give non-Indigenous students opportunities to learn about Indigenous history and culture through an Indigenous perspective. Ecovision's latest project, the Educational Pollinator Indigenous Carbon Capture Garden, has allowed our school to reconnect with our local Indigenous peoples. The garden is reintroducing 25 plants that have medicinal, pollinator, and edible value. We have captured the Indigenous knowledge of these plants by videotaping their environmental benefits, characteristics, and uses from an elder and knowledge keeper. Next slide, please. On March 21st, ELCHS had a naming ceremony where we introduced our school to Indigenous culture, provided Indigenous workshops, and gave our garden a Cree Indigenous name. By including our Indigenous people's perspective, we deepen our understanding of these plants, enrich our cultural experiences, create pathways for reconciliation, and increase collaboration with our community.
So our second practice is integrating projects into the curriculum to make them more sustainable. Xylan Peltier is also going to explain how this happens at our school.
LCHS integrates the projects into the existing Alberta/Canadian curriculum or partners with other educators to make new curriculum, This innovative curriculum, 1, teaches students about the environment, science, and agricultural. 2, increases sustainability by teaching students how to develop and maintain environmental projects. 3, introduces students to real-life business opportunities like the BWise program I am a part of. 4, demonstrates all the steps of project development. This will be discussed later in our presentation. The environmental projects have been utilized by 15 agricultural courses, a greenhouse technician program, goat production program, environmental sciences, and social studies courses. This makes the curriculum more relevant and exciting. It increases and enhances environmental educational opportunities for students. The school also introduced a business program to help finance the maintenance and upkeep of the programs. I help with the Wise business where we sell honey, wax, fruit, herbs, and vegetables to the community at the farmers market, conferences, and community events. Our school also offers workshops and services projects such as Beekeeping 101 workshops and community cleanup. I get a chance to learn real life skills like marketing, public speaking, and sales, which I know I will use in my future.
That was a great job, Zylan. Let's give her a hand. Unfortunately, Zylan's in grade 12 and may be graduating this year. So good luck to you, Zylan. Our third best practice is all our projects are student-led from the beginning to the end. I have the great honor and privilege to introduce Charles Nokes. He was one of the co-founders of EcoVision 16 years ago. His project that he led was the 6 kilowatt photovoltaic system that we installed on the roof of our school. He has now gone on and gotten a U of A Bachelor and Masters of Physics degree from the U of A, our University of Alberta. He also was the first university in Canada to launch a satellite into space as he led the Alberta Sat team's first satellite mission. He's now working on his second satellite mission, which he hopes to launch in the new year. He also co-founded his own satellite company that works with farmers on environmental practices. Can we give Charles Nokes a very, very warm welcome?
Thanks, Steve. So here I'm going to be talking about the student-led projects and that key and powerful attribute of the EcoVision project. And so what's really unique is that students are a part of the entire process in these environmental projects. And that includes brainstorming, researching, fundraising, designing, building, coming up with curriculum suggestions, and then maintaining these projects. And I was really fortunate to be involved with the first two EcoVision projects. And the first one, we wanted to reduce the school's environmental footprint. And so we decided to do that using solar energy. And the second project, the students wanted to build a near net zero greenhouse, a tropical greenhouse at the school so that they could grow tropical fruit and veggies and even fish, all in Canada's extremely cold climate, and to do it without fossil fuels. So we've got some images here from when we installed the solar panels. A good 15 years ago. Next slide, please. Oh, right. Student ownership. Sorry. So one of the key things about the first key thing about student-led projects is student ownership. Students that are allowed to implement their ideas end up taking ownership of these projects, and that really increases the chances of those projects being completed and being completed successfully. In my case with the solar project I was involved with, we completed the project in 3 years. And in that time, my classmates and I, we raised $45,000 and became the second high school in Alberta to install a 6 kilowatt solar photovoltaic array. The second key attribute about student-led projects is leadership development. Being involved with these really unique projects allows students to develop really key leadership skills, and that includes communication, collaboration, management, business skills, and perseverance. And students can then take those skills on to post-secondary education and beyond in their lives. And I definitely took those skills that I developed during my time with EcoVision to university, where I joined and led the Alberta Sat team in designing and building and launching the first made in Alberta satellite. And so now the third key attribute for student-led projects is sustainability. The projects become sustainable because students commit to fundraising and taking care of the projects that they invest in. The environmental projects that Ecovision has built, and as well as the community gardens they have, create a business opportunity for the students. And the money that's earned is reinvested in those projects, and some of it is also goes to the students. I used that experience myself to start my own business adventure, and I combined my passions for the environment and satellites to build a product to help farmers better manage their crops and in this, changing environmental time. Thank you very much.
I am so proud of Charles that he had the courage and the wisdom and the tenacity to build our first project that set a standard for all of Alberta and even the whole world. So thank you very much, Charles, and best of luck on your second satellite launch happening in the new year. If you want more information from Charles, you can either type into the chat and we will provide you with that information, or if you're in the live audience, you can come and talk to Charles afterwards about his satellite project and how it's going to help stop forest fires like the one in Fort McMurray that devastated and caused millions of dollars of damage. Our fourth practice, I'm so excited about this one, is collaborating with the community. Without our community support, as you can tell by our in-person conference and our international conference, without help from the community, our projects are dead in the water. So I'd like to just talk a little bit about Taylor. Taylor Perez is another one of our eco heroes at our school. She has been part of Ecovision since 2020. She's involved in presentations like the one today in the microbusiness. She was the microbusiness manager for 2.5 years. She really loves bees and got into Ecovision through our beekeeping program. She takes care of her greenhouse, takes care of her goats. And one of her special abilities is writing papers, international papers, some of them being presented to the United Nations on climate change. And she was instrumental in our EPICC garden, which stands for Educational Pollinator Indigenous Carbon Capture Garden. So her resume is quite large. Ecovision has created confidence for this young lady and expanded her leadership skills and her speaking skills, which you'll witness in a few minutes or a few moments. Can we give Taylor Perez a big warm welcome?
So the first key component of community collaboration is providing advice and wisdom. Community experts are able to provide us with advice and wisdom that we may need in order to make our project sustainable, and we in turn can take our own advice and wisdom and provide it to others who may need it. For example, Living Lands Landscaping has helped us design a state-of-the-art Indigenous garden, which was talked about previously, known as the EPICC Garden or Educational Pollinator Indigenous Carbon Capture Garden. Golic Honey and Lacombe Honey have helped mentor both teachers and students at Lacombe Composite High School in order to keep our beekeeping program running. We also have LCHS's Friends of the Gardens and Goats, or FOG for short, which is our volunteer group that volunteers for up to 3 hours every Wednesday in order to, again, make our project sustainable. You'll notice that sustainability is a reoccurring thing in this presentation. The second key component of community collaboration is financial support. Financial partners can help, finance innovative projects, as the name would suggest. Co-op community spaces, Ecole Lacombe Foundation, Dow Chemical, and local stores, maybe in your own communities, such as Home Depot, Home Hardware, or PV Mart, are examples of organizations that can help provide funding for environmental sustainable projects. Next slide. Thank you. The third key component of community collaboration is networking opportunities. Students are able to network with future employers and like-minded individuals in order to gain knowledge and skills or wisdom and advice, as mentioned prior. Inside Education has provided us with opportunities to mingle with environmentally conscious individuals and businesses around the province and around the nation. Lacombe County and City of Lacombe very local, have allowed for students with opportunities to network with ecological businesses and experts, again, with their own communities. The fourth key component of community collaboration is sustainability partnerships. And there it is, sustainability. Individuals can make projects more sustainable through volunteering, running workshops, and of course, providing resources to others, and hopefully gaining those resources as well. Whole Kids Foundation and Egg for Life are able to provide educational resources. Battle River Watershed Alliance and A+ for Energy encourage student engagement through environmental contests. Businesses like Cilantro and Chive help consistently buy our produce, which in turn can allow us to provide funding for environmental projects and for students as well. The fifth key component of community collaboration is educational partnerships. Educational partnerships can help create engaging 21st century cutting-edge curriculum for both students and community members as well. Wolf Creek Public Schools and Olds College have helped us incorporate the environmental agricultural curriculum into our school. ACE and the Center for Global Education created a space where Alberta youth leaders could advocate for environmental educational changes, as seen in the slide over there. That is ALE, or Alberta Youth Leaders for Environmental Education. They will also be presenting later today, I believe around 3 o'clock? 2:30? So you should check them out later if you're interested in this kind of stuff. It's really neat. Next slide, please.
That was a fantastic job, Taylor Perez. As you can see, she's a very confident individual and will make amazing things of herself. She's unfortunately graduated from our school and is on to university at our college, or it's now called Red Deer Polytechnique. So best of luck in your studies, Taylor Perez. Let's give her a... So our fifth practice, I'm pretty excited about this. Oh, and Taylor's actually going to be talking about this as well. So all of that we will mention again maybe, and clap for her again. Thank you, Taylor, for reminding me. The fifth practice that we're going to talk about is creating business opportunities. Like I mentioned before, Taylor was our manager, so she's going to expand on that great opportunity for other schools if they want to keep their projects sustainable. Let's welcome Taylor back.
So one part of our microbusiness and other businesses is organic food. Ecole Secondaire Lacombe Composite High School's first project, which was building the 6.0 kilowatt solar project on the roof of our school, was embraced by our school division because it offset electrical costs and allowed for the excess money to be invested back into environmental curriculum. So money can be a huge factor in play for any environmental project. Our food forest, tropical net zero greenhouse, honeybees, and dairy goats allow our school to grow excess organic, low environmentally impacted food for both our school and our community. Next slide. In order to increase our financial sustainability with our projects and to teach students real-world skills, in 2016, LCHS enrolled environmental students in a business mentorship with Burman University, a university located in Lacombe as well. Shortly after, these students opened up our Be Wise business and started selling products to local businesses, community members, teachers, students, and people attending the farmers market. The funds are then invested into these students and back into the projects in which they work at. People say that it only takes one action to cause a ripple effect, which I believe is true. I have mentored other students and modeled how to run an ecological business so that this program can not only grow at our school, but can also expand into other schools locally and provincially, and maybe someday countrywide, internationally. It all depends in the future, right? So, all right.
So if you're interested in knowing the secrets of running a student-led microbusiness, please come and talk to Taylor Perez afterwards. Or if you're online with our T4 audience, just pose a couple questions. You can also check out our website, www.lchsecovision.weebly.com. And on that website are online store is located, as well as all our projects, past and current, as well as some advice about raising money, grants, scholarships, best practices like we're sharing with you today. So one more time, let's give a big hand to Taylor Perez for her great job. As you can see, not only are my students well equipped to head into the future, I believe that our future is going to be more challenging. There are going to be lots of problems that we need to solve, and taking care of the environment is a key part of that, and my students are well equipped to handle that task. So I feel very confident about the future. I'm just going to give you a summary of our 5 best practices again. And again, if you want to talk to any of our student presenters today afterwards, please stay around after the online session ends, and we will have a conversation. And if you're online, please post some questions to our moderator, and she will we'll see if we can answer those. So in summary, we seek Indigenous knowledge, as Zylan so eloquently explained to us. Zylan is a Two-Spirited First Nations person, and so if you would like to talk to them afterwards, please do so, and she would love to talk about her culture or their culture. We, second of all, incorporate that into the curriculum. Zylan, Taylor, and Charles have both all experienced that, as many of you in the audience as well. Third practice is we involve students in every step of the process. Students take ownership, students learn life skills, and are better prepared for their future. Thank you to all the students that are supporting us online and or supporting us in person today from our school and from other schools. I hope this inspires you to take action as well, or inspires your teachers to let you take action. Number 4, we can't do this without our community. Collaborating with the community is vital to the success of any projects. And then last of all, I think this is a hidden gem. If you can turn your projects into a business opportunity, the students will embrace it, and they don't have to go and look for part-time work, or it helps sustain the projects moving into the future. So you don't have to ask your school boards or your local school for any money. To sum everything up, the Emerald Foundation made a really, really good video for us. So the T4 Education is going to now show us the EcoVision number 5 video. I was teaching in my classroom over here, and the fire alarm goes off. Someone in my class goes, "Oh, the roof is on fire, the roof is on fire." Then I began to realize that where our solar panels were is where the fire was. And just hung my head, because I knew exactly what was happening was the project that we had spent 3 years and $45,000 raising, they were all in flames. And then I thought, EcoVision's over. Slowly, the group of 10 students at the time gathered around me at the center circle, and I looked up and I saw tears just running down their faces. Young people care about their environment. They care about their world. And in my heart, I knew that my job wasn't done. Today we are in sunny, beautiful Lacombe Composite High School. So EcoVision is project-based education. So we allow students to dream big dreams and then do research on those dreams
and then put those dreams into reality. We have 3 pillars that we follow. All our projects must be student-led and must be environmental, educational, and collaborate with the community. So far we have our solar panels. We have reduced 56 gigatons of carbon in the 11 years that we've had our solar panels. We then had a greenhouse project where we built a geodesic net zero tropical greenhouse. It's there to inspire others. So far to date, we've inspired 5 other middle schools or high schools to build one of these. And then we have a beekeeping program where my students actually teach the public how to raise bees properly, and they can't get a license until they take that course. And then our 4th one is our gardens, and that's to teach people that you can grow your own food and it can be organic and healthy and sustainable. And finally, we built a goat barn that is self-sufficient, insulated, but also can be used for education purposes. The benefits of taking the courses that have been developed through our EcoVision program are immense. It allows students to get in touch with their outdoors and with nature. It also provides them an avenue to develop very unique skill set. Thirdly, it provides incredible leadership opportunities for our students that they wouldn't otherwise have.
It's a really hands-on learning experience, so not only am I learning a lot about kind of what I want to do with my future, which is probably something animal-based. So I'm learning for that. I'm widening my skill set just in general with outside stuff, and it's really easy to learn when it's so involved and stuff like that.
These courses, you learn a lot, and it's nice to know things so then when people ask questions, you can hop in there and use what you've learned and put it into there, and then eventually bring it into your lifestyle or how you want to live. I was half in it just for the credits, but now it's like really exciting to learn more about it, and it's fun to actually go out and see our goats and take care of them and learn.
After the fire, there were both students on both sides, students that were crying and students that were cheering, that both said, I want to be part of a solution. And so they started thinking and dreaming, and we came up with a theme, out of the ashes we will rise. And so my students came back to me and said, we need to build a building. Why don't we build a greenhouse? And something crazy happened after the year the greenhouse built. It's like all of a sudden there was a visible symbol. So this is something tangible that kids could actually walk into, and all of a sudden EcoVision exploded again. The future of EcoVision, I believe, is very bright. Students more than ever are wanting to make a difference. Students are discovering their passions, and I think because of all the programs we offer, it taps into a lot of passions across the spectrum of students as well. As long as I'm here, and as long as the students want to invest and follow their dreams and see them come to reality, I think EcoVision will thrive.
For putting on that great video. Thank you. So now we're going to just answer a few questions and maybe end with another video that was put on after we learned that we had won the 10 Best School Prize for World's Best Schools for the category of environmental action. The first question that's come is been answered in the video, but I'll address it again. How did we overcome adversity like the fire? And to tell you the truth, I thought EcoVision was done after the solar project, but I discovered that students have a lot of resiliency. They care a lot about their school. When I sat on that football field and watched tears running down students' faces that were part of EcoVision while there were other students were cheering, I knew that students care. They care about their school, they care about the environment, and they care about their education. So that is an untapped resource that a lot of teachers don't realize that they have. So that's how we overcame adversity. We just turned it over to the students and they came up with the ideas. It was really interesting. After the fire, we researched and we discovered that NASA, this is a throwback to you, Charles, that NASA sends spider plants into space. So we bought every staff member, every custodian a spider plant, and there's still a spider plant in our common staff room that's still growing from that day that we gave all the spider plants out. And the reason we put spider plants into space is because it cleans the air. So not only psychologically did we clean the air of our school, we also physically cleaned the air of our school. And out of that, out of the ashes we will rise was the theme. A second question that's been posed from our T4 audience is, how is the school and the school board supportive? Very, very cool fact is that if students have their research done, if they have all the questions that schools will pose, such as liability questions, such as who's funding it, who's taking care of it, how does this fit into the curriculum? And if students have the answers to those questions at a presentation, my secret little tip is that school boards have a hard time saying no. Our first project actually was the solar project, and it allowed our school to have over $1,000 a month being reinvested into the school building, which is then reinvested into education. They didn't have to raise a penny to put the solar panels on the roof of our school because our students did that. So if you want support from your school, you need to be able to answer those questions that the schools are going to pose to you. The other secret to that is you need to find an ally or a champion of your project within the school board or within your school. And our principal has been one of those champions, and our school trustees have also been a champion for those projects. Do they ask hard questions? Of course they do. They want this project to be successful as badly as the students do. But if we can answer those tough questions, and you as students underestimate your ability, you have the power, you have the ability to transform your schools. It just has to be well planned. Is there any other questions? One more question, I think, and then we're going to maybe have time to show the last video. All right, I'm going to ask this question to one of my panelists. Why did you join Ecovision, and what have you gained from Ecovision? We'll start with you, Taylor.
Well, there's multiple reasons why I joined Ecovision and what I've gained from, and multiple things that I've gained from Ecovision. One of the first reasons I joined Ecovision is because I heard that there was a micro business and maybe a little bit of cash was involved, but we'll just not talk about that for a minute. I also heard that they had this really cool beekeeping course. You could get 20 credits from it over 2 semesters, which is quite a lot. And I also heard there was bananas growing in a greenhouse, so I also decided to join a greenhouse course for a bit and see what it was like. And then as soon as I joined those classes inside the school, by the way, this was not club stuff, this was class stuff, I realized that I had a passion for everything relating to the environment that's in the club. I heard about it all in greenhouse class, and I was like, hey, I want to join this club. And I also found out that I loved bees and beekeeping, so I was like, I want to be a part of this in the future as well. And then 2 weeks after I joined the Ecovision Club, COVID struck, and it was hard to be a part of anything. But then eventually we started going online and having meetings and planning stuff out. And then I was able to join the micro business and had a lot of fun with that. And I joined the farmers markets and helped with that. I helped present and I helped install a goat barn in the high school. And this was all just crazy stuff. And it was just an average day in Ecovision. And so what I can say I definitely have taken away from Ecovision is, one, being able to talk to others and actually kind of form my thoughts. Like right now, I'm actually able to keep talking and keep going and not, cry in the corner out of fear. And another thing that I've gained is definitely interpersonal skills, because Ecovision is so focused on the community and talking to others and being a part of the community that I've definitely learned that aspect. And there's also learning about finances with the micro business and learning about how you can be a part of a bigger spectrum of the environment and stuff like that, which is absolutely amazing. So I could go on for hours, but I probably should not because I want to let other people also answer the question. But that's my basic answer. Basic.
Charles, do you have a 1-minute response of how Ecovision has shaped your future and your past?
Yeah, I mean, I was always really passionate about technology and working with Ecovision and being able to actually not just design but install a solar panel system while in high school was, yeah, it was just an incredible experience that really solidified for me the direction that I wanted to go. I wanted to go into leading edge technology, and it also showed me how powerful, you know, a student team can be, and that's how I ended up joining the AlbertaSat team, and you know, going from building a solar panel system on a high school to putting solar panels on a satellite that went into space, and we followed many of the same attributes and you know, ways of operating where students led the project, and so that was. I got a lot of that from Ecovision.
Charles is one of my heroes. We're going to end with just a quick comment by Zylan, and then we're going to show the video quickly. Zylan?
I joined Ecovision because I thought it was going to be a club talking about how bad the environment is getting. I never would have thought about being here presenting and learning more about my culture, which is really great for me. It gets me more in tune with how I like my culture. And that is all I have to add.
All right, we're going to watch a video, and we're going to end it at 1:37.
Imagine this is your class in high school for kids.
This hive they're making, this is a bunch of capped honey.
Imagine this is your class in high school for kids at Ecole, Secondaire, Lacombe, Composite. They can do beekeeping and work in the greenhouse for class credits. 12th grader Amber Reeves started keeping bees a month ago.
My mom has a garden at home, but bees was a new thing I could do at home if I really wanted to help the environment and feel good about myself, have an activity, a hobby to do.
The school's bees, greenhouse, and aquaponics system, which raises tilapia, are run by the school's Ecovision team. Their garden has more than 200 trees and other plants, including 25 indigenous wildlife species, asparagus, and pears.
1, 2, 3, Ecovision!
Like the Circle of Life, the projects interact to create food and energy. Taylor Perez initially joined to work with the club's micro-business, selling their fruits, vegetables, and homemade honey.
And then eventually I found out that I have a passion for the environment, which I knew I had a little bit before, but not to the extent I do now. Like extremely passionate about it. And then I also have a passion for everything that we do at the club and doing farmers markets and all of those jams.
Teacher Stephen Schultz helped start the club in 2006. He says his students are the driving force behind all the initiatives and hopes that drive follows them out of school.
My hope is that these projects will install within every student desire to make a difference.
Finalists for the $250,000 Best Schools Prize will be announced later this year. Win or lose, students in the club say they plan to keep volunteering even after they graduate.
All right,
Gabrielle
I have
Sandoval-Franti,
just to
CBC News,
quick
Lacombe.
say thank you to EPICC, but really a huge thank you to T4 Education. If you want to see the winning schools, they're going to be announced tomorrow. If you go to T4 Education or World Education Week on the internet, you can sign up and watch some other absolutely inspirational schools. There were 10 in our category, and we wish them all the best of luck. And the winner is well deserving after I watched all those videos. And I want to say a quick thank you to our audience here. You were absolutely amazing, attentive, and not distracting at all. And we're very honored by that. Thank you to our sponsors who have helped us, and have a wonderful day. And remember, you can make a difference.